Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this a couple years with my fiance. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to be a little bit more quiet right now because my fiance is sleeping. My cat over here wants my attention. Right now it is Tuesday, the day after the weekend, the extended weekend. I just want to let you know what we did. We did a campfire at her parents' place. It was actually her birthday yesterday, but we happened to celebrate on Saturday. We also played a bunch of Skyrim. I was playing on the Switch, Skyrim, and then she was playing Elder Scrolls Online for the first time on the Xbox. So we did a bunch of that, and the weekend went pretty quick. I decided to take off Monday, which I normally don't do. I do feel super behind because of it, but we also couldn't ship out items because the post office was closed. We could have packed up all this stuff beforehand, but we decided not to. I'm regretting it right now, but let's just jump into it. That's what we did for the weekend. I'm probably going to, sorry to go back straight into it, but I'm going to probably try to list more today and organize a bunch. Today there's a lot of stuff that went wrong. It's driving me crazy. A lot of it's my fault. If I seem a little flustered, maybe that's why. So the first thing that sold was a Battle Honors metal miniature set. It looks like it's a battalion, a German battalion. I'm not 100% sure. I probably looked up this little code when I listed it. This sold for $10.12 plus shipping. We always do plus shipping, so I'm not going to mention it for the other items, but all of them are going to be plus shipping, just to save us both the time. Next up is a pretty cool item, if I can find it. Oh no, did I keep it in the, oh, here it is. This is a fold-out poster. This folds out into a poster. This is for EverQuest, a role-playing game. It's a pretty sweet poster when it folds out. I listed this, I think, last week, so it's really cool to get a sale already. This one sold for $50. People really love EverQuest. I've never played it. I was playing World of Warcraft at the time. But yeah, this kind of stuff goes for a lot, so keep an eye out for it. This was just very cheap in a box of other magazines and such. There it is. Next up on the list is something that I listed during my 500 items over 5-day challenge. I don't even remember this. I must have been zoned out while listing. This is a service and mechanical department little flyer sheet from 1951. It's going to give you information about how to fix your car. Stuff like this is really cool. Like I originally told everyone on this channel, I got a big box from a thrift store for I think $20 of ephemera. This was one of the hundreds of items that was in it. This sold for $12. Next up was my first issue, and I'm pretty sad about it. This right here is a Russian tank miniature kit right here. This was part of a combo order. There's another submarine plastic kit that I sold with this. The combo order was $28. This is international, so it's been a big headache. This person's bought from us before. It wasn't a big deal. We sent out 2 other kits, but then they claimed that some pieces were missing from the kit, but then they didn't really ask for any resolution. They just went into wanting to buy another 2 items. One of the other item that I currently can't find is the rest of the pieces for the first kit. I had 3 of the same kits. They were all a submarine. I already sold one to some random person. This person bought one internationally, and then they paid for the 3rd kit because they want to complete their 2nd kit, which was not a big deal. Easy resolution for me. I did some digging here on my computer back here, and I was so lucky to have kept the tab open. The issue was I couldn't find it because for international, there's no combine invoice option. So you have to make a new listing to get the weight properly so that they don't have to pay shipping twice. Shipping internationally is expensive. They don't have to pay VAT taxes twice. So I make a new listing. Usually I'll get rid of the old listings, like for example this tank and this submarine. I will end them. They'll go in unsold. My unsold listings will have the SKU, which is the box where I stored in. They disappeared, or I messed up. I don't know. I was super flustered because this person was already sending a bunch of messages just to get the sale alone. Was too many messages. I'm probably going to just unfortunately block them after this gets shipped out because I just really don't want to deal with a bunch of messages for one order. It's a massive amount of work. Plus there was like issues that they never really did anything about. There was no negative feedback. There was no like suggestions on how to resolve it other than buying more stuff, which is good. But yeah, I did find the SKU number on my computer. I got lucky. But this item will go out late. Tomorrow I have to go and grab it. I took a picture on my phone of where it is. This is a bunch of self-drama, but also intermixed with an international order, also intermixed with someone being a little too messagey. Yeah, that's definitely going to be on the block list after this. I know that sounds harsh, but we do this for a living. We really can't spend 2 hours messaging one person for one sale. Especially when there's issues, especially when the communication also wasn't the best. It wasn't always clear. I always had to clarify. It was just a headache. So that was issue 1 for today. Super frustrating. It probably burned about 30 minutes. I'm exhausted physically, got low sleep because we were playing too much Elder Scrolls yesterday. So yeah, 30 minutes burned. I'm not happy about that. Super flustered. Next up is an X-Wing incomplete little miniature kit. This is the Slave 1 expansion pack right here. People love X-Wing. I think it's a dead game, but don't quote me on it. I know they went to a second edition, but I think people wanted to just keep on with the first edition. They didn't want to be forced to buy second edition stuff. This sold for $20. This is only missing some of the tokens. If they're playing X-Wing, they have a ton of those tokens already on the side. It's not a big deal. They want the ship. They want the pilots, they want the cards, they want the upgrades, which this all has, $20. That was slated for trash too at some point. Next up is a combo order. This is a pretty cool one. I love selling playing card decks. This one is a used but complete cat playing card deck, which is awesome. There's a bunch of little kitties on there. And then this one is Midwest Birds. This one is also cool because it has a bunch of birds on it, so this person clearly loves animals. They love playing cards. This sold for $19.07. It's a personal hobby of mine to list and sell unique playing card decks. These aren't super unique, but unique enough. I think these were both used, but in good condition, so I show pictures of that. But yeah, $19 for 2 playing card decks is awesome, and so it's going to go to someone who appreciates the animals. We love animals a lot as well, so it's nice. Alright, next up is a lot of 9 Magic the Gathering Full Art Forest lands. Magic the Gathering is super popular. These lands, they show more of the art in general compared to the other ones where half of the art is covered up. This sold for $6.99. I got super lucky with this. I haven't been in the Magic scene for many years now. So everything changes almost month to month or every 3 months. Every new set, anything new released changes how it interacts with every old card, potentially. I know people like Full Art Lands. These used to be super rare. This is from Zendikar. I believe it's the first set that they did it, other than one of their joke sets. So these are kind of the OGs. I bought a bunch of auctions with my fiance for, I think it was $660 a couple months ago. I bought a blind box of Magic cards, sight unseen. Very bad mistake. That was one of the times where I was into the auction mood and it got me. I paid $40 for a big box. I believe this is the second or third lot that I've sold. This one obviously was only $6.99. I think I'm getting close to break even with this particular lot. I would never do that again. I've never done it before. I don't know what got into me. I just got excited. It had an older display box that I was going to list and sell separately, so I knew that I could get like $10 to $20 for that. That one hasn't sold yet, but I do think it will eventually sell. And I was thinking any rares or uncommons that were worth $5 or more could make it worth it. There was almost nothing. I had to lot up everything, and I'm hoping for the best. So yeah, that was definitely a bad purchase. Never going to do the sight unseen, unless if it's like a really cool, like huge box of just random stuff, not just magic. So yeah, I've bought boxes of random cards before, like just big. They're called 5Ks because they hold 5,000 cards. I think they actually hold like 7 or 8,000 unsleeved. I bought like 4 of those with dead card games. That was a blast. That I made a ton of money on. This was a bad call. Alright, next up is a board game expansion piece. Let's see. We got Firefly the Game card pack. This is going to be a miniature little card pack expansion to the Firefly board game, I believe. This sold for $46.80. Anytime there's expansions to board games, people don't buy them as much, so this one was probably the only one listed. There's probably only a couple, so you get to ask for a lot, even though this is way more expensive probably than the base game at this point. It's easy to ship. You do get angry messages for listing things that people think. This is probably like $10 retail, so you do get angry messages when you list things for a lot for the value of what they are at this moment. So yeah, but you do get buyers as well. Eventually, someone's not going to be mean. They're going to purchase it. They know how expensive it is. They have the extra money. It's their favorite board game. They're completionists. They want to complete their game. Maybe this actually enhances the game in a good way. They read about it and then they purchase it, or they saw it in a video and purchase it. So yeah, it's a very good sale. That's why I love doing like the board game bits and pieces, especially since I have a knowledge base in it. It's really nice to get sales like that. Next up is also another item that was literally in a box of trash. I got this for free among a bunch of other ones of these, plus other stuff in the box. This is going to be a demo disc for Computer Gaming World. This one is World of Warcraft. Right there. This collector actually just cut out, I believe, where it was in the magazine. So it's kind of cool because they were collecting them and it shows what issue and what else was in this. But yeah, this is going to be a demo disc for this. Oh, there's other stuff on here. Call of Duty, Cosmic Bugs, Warhammer 40K, Dawn of War, Battlefield 2. There's other stuff on this. These things are very nostalgic for people. They love the gaming demo discs that would come with like Xbox or PlayStation, other magazines. So yeah, when I saw a bunch of these going for the garbage, I just asked the person how much for the box. They said that's garbage, you can have it. It's awesome. This sold for $12. I sold a bunch of these to someone already. I remember when I first listed, I think I had 60 of these PC demo discs. And then, yeah, someone came in with a bunch of offers. So super in the profit from that. I mean, it was free. Literally garbage, saved it. Got to make a bunch of money too. Nothing to brag about, but it's nice to save something from the garbage and then be able to pay some bills with it. Alright, moving on. Next up is a hardcover book. Let me just dust it off real quick. This is a book about Australia. Make sure that doesn't get my coffee. It's dusty. So yeah, this is a cool hardcover book right here. This sold for $11.25. Let me see if I can show. Yeah, we pick up stuff like this all the time. Let me make sure not to mess it up. I'm probably just going to show you guys one more photo. Some trees from Australia. But yeah, $11.25 for a nice book. It's in good condition. I think we got this from the purchase where we filled our car with books for it's between $200 to $300. The one that made me uncomfortable driving the whole way. I thought it was going to make our car mess up. It did not. We survived. And then the storage unit became a mess because they were all over the place. I have gone through most of it. There's still a good amount, maybe a couple hundred left in some small boxes. I do want to get back to listing them, but the problem is I don't have good spots for them because books I definitely can't put in bins that are going to go on the mid shelf or the high shelf. I don't want it crushing on me. I don't want other items to get smushed. So yeah, I try to keep it to the lower shelves, and then I wait to see when there's enough space in a lower bin to list books into. That's what I'm waiting for. Sorry. Got dusties and all over. Not sure why. Guess it's just a dusty day. Next up is the Villanomicon? Comic book graphic novel? This right here sold for $7.89. I don't know that much about comics and graphic novels. I do know which interesting or weird, unique ones to grab, but there's a lot at this point. This, obviously, I probably grabbed it because I never heard of it, but still got $7.89 out of it. It's not the craziest of sales, but this was probably in a box of comics and other books. Not exactly the same book purchase, but this, yeah, was probably 50 cents to a quarter. It's hard to know what things individually cost when you buy bulk, like either a bunch of boxes and then you hash it out or haggle it out. I'm just taking a guess, but that was fairly cheap. Oh no, I dropped something. Oh, that's not a big deal. It's okay. Next up, I'm just going to show one bag. There's 3 bags of these. These are vintage wooden children's color cubes, like little toys, blocks. These, I believe, are all 1 inch. These are taking up a lot of space. As you can see, it says 1 out of 3 to give a note to myself when pulling them that there's 3 bags. This is over 250 of them. I think I counted exactly, but to save myself from miscounting by 1 and having someone be frustrated, I've had that happen before. It's very obnoxious because then your item's not described, you have issues, they have all the leverage for you on feedback. So I usually will get to a good even number and then say it's like 250 plus. There's probably like 262. I probably counted it, but I'm not going to put 262. That's not a number that someone's exactly looking for. If they are, they would message me like, hey, I need 262 of these. Do you have that? And then I could officially count it out. But yeah, I'm just saving my butt when I do these kind of listings. Someone messaged me about these a bit ago. We have calculated shipping on, so they said something to me like, oh, hey, can I do $40? I think it was like, or $60 free ship, but here's to the state. I didn't really want to do the work or effort to figure that out for them, so what I sent was, hey, I've calculated on. It should show you how much shipping is. Send the offer that adds up with the shipping to be what you want. They kind of said like, oh, okay, well, I just need this for an art project. They kind of said something generic. Didn't hear about them for a while, and they probably got an offer sent from us because we sent out offers. It's $30 for 250 plus of these little wooden cubes. They are vintage. It was nasty to list because I had to have like fiber cloth rags and my lint roller because there's going to be like hairs, little bits and pieces, nasty stuff. I actually hate listing stuff like that. It's part of doing eBay sometimes is you do have to do a lot of dirty, nasty digging. I just don't like to force myself to do that in my listing box. I have a white background, a cloth background, so like getting that potentially dirty is annoying. I have to wash it, huge pain. $30 is a good payoff for that though, so it's one of those weird things. Would I do this again? I'm not sure, but we'll see in the future if I ever see something like that. I think my fiance picked those up for like $1 or $2. Got a bunch of different like blocks, and I did a bunch of different listings. So yeah, it is good for the sale price, but for the effort, I'm not sure. Next up is my inexperienced comic book sale. Again, this one actually sold for $12, which I think is actually pretty good for a graphic novel when I don't have much knowledge on the individuals. This is an X-Men one, Age of X. There's even a half-price book sticker up here torn off, but I disclosed that. So yeah, $12. I'm pretty happy for that. I'm not even sure why I picked that one up. That was just probably like in the bulk box of this stuff I bought, so it was just like not a throw-in, but it was there. I'm not going to individually take out somewhere I would think wouldn't sell, so there it is, $12. Next up is a CD. This was one of the first 50 CDs I listed. This is Savoy? Mary is Coming? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Savoy? Whatever. Mary is coming. She's going to get you. It's kind of spooky in the front. Oh, it's actually not spooky. It's just her legs. I thought that was like a creepy ghost at first. Maybe it's supposed to be that on purpose. I'm just double checking it's all in there because this is an old listing of mine. This sold for $7.56. We got a car full of CDs for $75. It was a nice purchase early on. I listed a bunch of these right away. I remember I was super excited. I can even see my like old desk at my old place I used to live. I just put it on my like nightstand, did a bunch of pictures. Not too bad for like beginner stuff. And then I remember like a week or two went by and not a single one sold at first, and I was so devastated. It felt like I should quit eBay. I'm so horrible at this, but no, those ended up selling a bunch. It just takes time. This is a good lesson of no matter how cheap or low or how you price something, sometimes things just take time. You got to find the person that wants it at the moment, and then they go searching, then it has to come up. There's probably other people with the CD, so who knows if they're looking at feedback, good pictures, username, you don't know. Maybe they sort by cheapest first. I'm not sure what people fully search up when they're purchasing. I think they look up and buy and how they buy themselves. That didn't make sense. I'm just going to drop that. It's fine. Like I said, I'm a little sleepy right now. Only a couple hours of sleep. I got super stressed by looking for the other model kit that wasn't, or I didn't have a listing for the SKU, but I happened to find it on my computer. Next up is, oh, I think I did this out of order. Yeah, it's fine. This is official road and highway map of King County. This was listed during my 500 items in 5-day challenge for myself. This is even beat up even more. This is even beat up. There's marks all over the place. This folds out nicely. This sold for, I think this one sold for $12. The other sheet that I mixed up with sold for $16. So I mixed up my two listings because they look similar. They're just like this ephemera, beige, yellow, white looking piece of paper. So yeah, we got this. Also, this is also in that box. Same box as the other one. $20 for a whole box of a couple hundred of different maps and pieces of paper like that. Next up is frustration point number 2 for me for today. This is going to be a Build-A-Bear My Little Pony Fluttershy, I think. I'm just taking a pure guess right here. This is actually pretty big. There's a couple of marks that aren't a big deal on the ear that I disclose. Unfortunately, the only disclosure of this mark right here, which I'm going to try to get out with like soap and water or something, was barely shown in my photos. That's actually my fault. I just have such awful luck with like doing the worst picture I could for a plushie. I don't know, this happens all the time. I pick up a plushie. I don't like listing them. I'm looking at it. I'm into it. I'm getting focused, even though I don't like them. I get into it. I look all over. I feel like there's like 100 spots in a plushie. Look under the little armpits, everywhere. I'm like looking for marks. I'm like, okay, time to take pictures of the issues. And then somehow I always fail to take a good picture of like the biggest issue in any of these plushies. Always. It drives me crazy. Like I literally probably just missed that while looking at it and listing. I have a lot of pictures, like 7 or 9 for that one. Probably could have done more, but it's such a big item to list in a photo box. It's also another reason why I don't like the plushies. It sold for $14. Hopefully we'll be able to clean it up before shipping out. But yeah, it's definitely upset at myself. I had the one combo order item I couldn't find, and I have to grab tomorrow, so that order is going to dock us on our account for being late. I'm not going back. Not happening today. We're already running late. Now this thing where I didn't photo the one issue, my fault. It should be able to be cleaned off, but yeah, the things happen. It sucks to suck, I guess, for me. I'm having a pity party on myself. Alright, moving on to the not pity party. This is a metal miniature. I think it's from a German company. This is going to be like a naval commander. I think I just put naval commander because I didn't know fully what it was. This sold for $19.99. We do pretty well with stuff like this. Metal miniatures all the time. I don't know much more about that one, so I can't really comment more. Alright, coming on up is a combo order, a very good combo order. These are little pocket classic books right here. Probably hard to see. These are supposed to come in a set. They're numbered. It looks like some of them are going to be on poetry, history, other random stuff like that. These sold for, together, $60. Yeah, my fiance got more of these in an auction a bit ago, probably for like $5, $10, something very cheap, 5 to 10 bucks, if that, maybe 15. I remember another lot we sold for like $100. It's more of these. So yeah, there's still one more lot that I have listed of these books. They're awesome. They don't take up much space. It's pretty easy to list them. $60 for it is pretty good. Really good home run by my fiance picking this up in an auction. Alright, next up are some Game of Thrones cards. Just like a lot I did. Had a note for myself, 2 out of 2. And then this one's 1 out of 2. I'm not fully sure on this one. This one's not the living card game, so I don't know if it plays similarly or not. This is a lot of 650 plus. There's like a deck in here that was open. I pictured everything. You can read all the names. Obviously, I can't show pictures of every single card, but I do lay them out so that they can see the names. So if they're really into the game and they're looking for a specific card, they can look at my pictures and be like, ooh, I want that one, or that one's worth more. I'm not going to look these up individually because, like I said, I'm not well versed in this. I got $38 for this listing. I listed it high and see what happens, and it sold at $38. I think my fiance counter offered from $30 to $38, so she did well to get the extra $8. There we go. Alright, next up is a Blu-ray right here. This one is Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. I have not really watched all these movies. I don't remember anything about this particular series. I do know people are obsessed with it, so this stuff will sell. This is a Blu-ray DVD combo, actually looks like it. This sold for $15.59. I semi-recently got a bunch of physical media, specifically Blu-rays, already. So that's all I know about that one. Next up is 2 Lord of the Rings books, The Fellowship of the Ring and The Return of the King. I'm not sure which editions or which ones sell for a lot, but there we go. I sold 2 of them. This sold for $14.03. I want to say I grabbed these super recently, along with some of the physical media I got. I got a lot of books, Blu-rays, and other stuff like that. So yeah, this is a pretty good sale. It was really easy to list. Turned in offers, and I think someone took an offer for that one when we sent it out. Next up is an RPG book for Champions, also for the Hero Games line. This is Challenges for Champions, the particular book. There you go. Sorry, like I said, I'm sleepy today. This sold for $15. I know I've sold this one before. I've sold stuff within this series. This is going to be a superhero RPG game where you make a superhero or a villain and they just have a blast role-playing and going through the mechanics. It is older. I want to say 90s? Random shot in the dark there, though. So yeah, we're going to move on. This right here, I can't unfold it. This was a completed needlepoint linen little poster. I don't know what to call it. It's a finished craft. Sold for $17.99. It was a bunch of flowers in a vase. So yeah, kind of random pickup. That was like, I think when Auction House was moving, they had a bunch of stuff to sell, so it's kind of like essentially fill up a box and bag a car, and we'll go from there and talk about it. We spent probably like $100 to $200 for, yeah, basically a car full of stuff. Next up on my list here is going to be a bigger item. It's like this big. I think it's actually right over there, but I didn't want to pull it up here. I'm already tight in space right here as is. It sold for $50 plus shipping. It's like a 1980s camera system little kit, like a little spy kit. There's a little TV, a little camera. Hopefully it works. I'm not sure if I listed it new or used. Got it for $5 in auction. Would never, ever, ever, ever get again. It just happened to be so cheap it was hard to pass up on not getting it, because 5 into 50 would be a good deal. It didn't sit too long, but it's been in our living space, so that's been really nice. There's no room in the storage unit for this. It's going to be a pain today to ship, and we're already behind in time. But yeah, 5 into 50 is pretty good. Alright, next up is also a super old listing. I think this is by my fiance, did this listing, one of her originals. Super special number 7, The Babysitter's Club Snowbound. Yeah, this one's pretty good condition, as you can see. Yeah, this sold for $8. There you go. We used to have a bookshelf that had all of our books listed. Very bad organizing system. That bookshelf is in the storage unit right now. It needs to eventually be organized. All these need to get into a SKU. None of these are skewed out, meaning like when they sell, I have to go like, oh, I know, hopefully that's a book in the bookshelf section. I'm not even sure how many listings are that. That's probably like our most unorganized, horrible storage unit spot right now. I keep trying to mentally get it done, but I end up rather listing for the day than to organize old listings. I know when I do it, it'll be a good time. Also, I know when we do it, that bookshelf's got to go. It was a cheap one. Don't need it anymore. It needs to be a shelf there with a bunch more boxes with stuff that will be selling faster than old listings. But it's still cool to get $8 from essentially original listing along with that CD that I showed you earlier. Next up is also a pretty cool one. This was a keychain my fiance picked up from like a thrift supermarket. Sorry to think about what it's called. I might be saying it wrong. A thrift mall. It was just like a bunch of bag of keys and keychains. This is for Puremax Bank. This sold for $17.49. When you have old vintage or even modern little gadgets, little keychains for brands, people do pick them up. I had $17.49 plus I had another one. It was in the same condition, so I already relisted it. Super good win. That's how you can make money off of like small little purchases. They add up really, honestly. Next up is a book, Dark Heart. This was definitely part of all of those books I got when I filled up the car that I thought I regretted at the time. This sold for $12.50. Margaret Weiss, David Baldwin, fantasy novel, probably some kind of adventure action thing. There's dragons in it. Yeah, $12.50. Nice looking books like that, hardcover. Oh, it's book 1 of Dragon's Disciple series that they have written. There you go. Alright, next up is a really good mini home run for us. This is Go Stop, Better Than Poker. Very little information on the box, like super little. It is sealed. It does look vintage custom where there wasn't a lot printed. I think there is very little to none listed on eBay. This I know other people would look at and immediately just like it's in their junk, in their head. They're going to pass by it at garage sales. They're going to pass by it at thrift stores, estate sales. They'll pass by it. I know when there's sealed and even open, good condition games that are vintage or old and there's very little to none on eBay, you can ask a premium. This sold for $40, kid you not, $40 for this, and I definitely know other people would look at this. I immediately knew that this was something I was going to buy. I think I got this in a bulk purchase with other small box games like that, but when I pulled this one out, I was like, ooh, hopefully there's little to none listed. I was correct. I got to ask a lot for it, and I got a lot. Oh no. Okay. Next up is another playing card deck. This is also a super old listing, like very old, like a OG one, like the book and the CD. Snoopy playing card deck. Snoopy's been doing really well for us. We happened to get some stuff on auction. This was not from the auction. This is from a long time ago. This is probably from like Savers or something. Goodwill. Probably for a quarter and a half off day. It sold for $11.33 plus shipping. I got good luck with the playing cards today. And then the last item that I sold today, or over the weekend, I think since Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's Tuesday, 4 wins, 1995, like catalog for different boats, like expensive boats. Yeah, someone's being nostalgic. It was really in depth. Like you would open it up and all the pages showed like a lot of details about these different like boats that people who had more disposable income could purchase. This particular catalog sold for $9.80. This I think we got at a estate sale. Usually when we're at estate sales, we put a bunch of stuff in a pile and then hash out a price. Essentially like a bulk deal type of thing. If I had to take a shot in the dark, I want to say we paid $80 to like $120 for a bunch of stuff. There was like 4 or 5 boxes of different catalogs and magazines, newspapers. So long paid for. They are slow sellers, but when someone wants it and they get nostalgic, they purchase it. Thank you for watching. Sorry it's been a little bit more quieter, calm. I'm frustrated from the few things that already happened. I have a bunch to do for eBay and to catch up in life over taking an extra day off. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you'd like to help support us, everything helps immensely. Take a look at our shop below. Have a good day.